Thank you so much for this community that I have with all these people. Thank you for blessing us that we have this forum to get together and hang out. Thank you for blessing us that we have this wonderful earth life. And thank you for the lovely new snow and the almost full moon. And thank you so much for blessing us when we need help. Please help us to be more humble and dependent on Thee, and have joy and peace. And bless us that we can help each other out. And this we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Well, I guess I don't have to touch anything after that. I'm pretty tired. It is 3:30 a.m. Let me just check on that. Here we go. Round and round. 5 to 4. So let's say 4 a.m. My back is hurting too much. I got up, to do what we all do at 3 a.m. when nature called. And I was moving so slowly. My back is very, very tight. And it's all very painful. But it looks like I could probably go back to sleep, couldn't I? I seem to be quite sleepy. I got up and took some pills and wait for them to work. Eventually it will. Anyway, a lot of snow out there. Is that a 1? Good morning, one person. My hair is not looking proper. It should be just like that one. But it isn't. And I have to look at it. You know, those red glasses I have, they really show up what everything looks like. It's rather embarrassing to watch myself on the television and to realize what I actually look like. Like, I look like one of those old women. I mean, I used to dismiss people my age. I used to look around the room and, oh, there's nobody here, when somebody looked like me. That tells you something, eh? How we change. You know, I haven't really thought about how unkind my attitude was toward all people of the white persuasion, the white-haired persuasion. I was quite oblivious to it all. But now, when I look at myself and I see that person that I wouldn't bother to talk to, wow, it really lets me know what kind of an individual I've been. I mean, I haven't been unkind to people, but just that way, you go in a room, you stick your head in a room, and you look around, and there's probably about 15 people in there, but you look around and nobody's there. And it's like, well, those people don't matter. Maybe it's because I would be looking for someone that was, a friend of mine that I would visit with. And yet, what was wrong with those people? Why did I think I didn't need to visit with them? Strange, eh? We live in a weird world. Well, the world isn't weird, I guess. It's just my reaction to some of it. Should probably go to sleep. But I just got on. I wanted to show you the beautiful views out the window, but it's dark out there, and I mean, it's light enough for me to see, but it's not light enough for me to do a video and look out. It would all show up too dark. I love how winter turns the snow white. I mean, how winter turns the world white, and it's so bright. You know, if you have precipitation, it's always snow, and It's not, it doesn't make you wet. It does make you cold if you touch it. But just, like you don't touch nettles. So why would you touch snow? It burns. It burns hard. I guess I didn't make a video because it was going to be too hard to get back in bed. My mother used to have it down to a science. She would sit on the edge of the bed, and then in one motion, she would roll right into place on the bed. Like she would turn and come down just so, and her feet would come up, and she was pretty stiff. But usually I'm not stiff. Usually I'm not in pain. What a miracle is that, eh? Usually, you're this age and you've got pains that come and go. Good morning, Ellen. Boy, I feel like we're all on this camping trip together. It's fun. Anyway, so we got a bunch of snow out there. Yesterday I was going to come back on here. I was going to go downstairs and have a bit to eat and watch some television. And then I was going to make another video. Did I ever make another video, or did I just go to bed? I went to bed early. And then I went to sleep. And I've been sleeping ever since. I didn't go to bed at 6. I went to bed after that, I think 7. Whatever. So I went to bed. And now I'm still exhausted, but my back is in all the aches and pains have appeared today. I'm not used to doing so much work anymore. Good morning, Jack. Are you on your way to class or home? Home from class? Is it just coming up to be morning there? I slept on a rock and I hurt my back. No, I didn't slip. I didn't sleep. Anyway, I was out there shoveling twice. And so last night I looked at it and I thought, oh, look at it all. And I just thought, I'm not going to do that. But I usually find that if I'm in pain and there's stuff I want to do that's heavy, that's the time to do it. When I'm already in pain, then do something that's silly. 9 a.m. No, it's fine. I just shoveled too much. But we had 20 inches of snow. I haven't been out there yet to see what it all looks like. Except that I shoveled that deck twice. But it didn't, when I was done, it looked like I hadn't shoveled at all. I wondered if the drifting would be less if I didn't shovel. But then I watched the snow as the snow would come over, and then it would get near a building and it would slow down and fall out of the air. And so my removing what was on the ground was not influencing the snow in the air falling. Because it was coming in on a wind, right? And so you have to be really careful if the wind is coming from this direction. You don't want to put any heaps of snow. You got to make sure you keep the snow completely level. Because if you're pushing little and you're going to have little mountains, you're going to end up with this whole little extra where it's going to slow down the wind and make it drop. And then you get a drift. They could be just little drifts. But when they add up, and they get bigger. But I think our nice neighbor helped Willem and they did snowshoeing. Once my painkillers take effect, I'll be able to do things. What's today? Wednesday? No, Tuesday. I wonder if the snow stopped. Anyway, we have to go get our snowblower today. Or tomorrow, depending on if I go to sleep. If I go to sleep again, then it's tomorrow. If I stay up, it's today. I don't think I'll stay up. But I can't get back to my bed. I'm in too much pain. Had to be really careful, like stepping down into the sunroom or something. All these things that you take for granted with your body. I'm so glad that I have stopped doing tons of stuff since about September. But then this snowfall, and I'm determined didn't want to have to shovel all of it at once. So I went out and shoveled that, and then I came back. Is the moon not out? Let's see. I can't move to look out the window. See, and I got too many lights on in here. That snow seems to have sunk, what was right against the window. I'm not sure what went on with that. Maybe it was blown up against it. You know, you could decorate your windows now, like with windows that look like that. All they're missing is a beautiful little Christmas tree picture or some other moon on the breast of the new fallen snow. Like, that's what everybody loves, is when there's snow on the edge of the windows. We used to have this spray you could use. It was a white sort of something, and you would spray it on the bottom of the windows, maybe up the sides or something, and it would look like snow in the windows. Of course, we never had snow, so it was just a strange decoration in my mind. We never used it, but it existed. But this is the effect that they were looking for. To put the snow on there, make it look natural. Well, actually, it doesn't look as nice on there as it does when they spray it on. Anyway, but this is the time to paint pictures on the windows. Now, can you paint pictures with acrylic on the windows? Wouldn't that be fun? But you see, every window you paint on, you're not going to be able to see through. I would like to paint again. I guess if I could paint and you could just be hovering, that would work. You know? Boy, my hands, I'm trying to close my hands, and they're so swollen. It's like the skin is too small. Hey, I wonder if my skin tightened up. Is it still falling off? If it tightened up my hands, that's skin muscles. But that's probably swollen. It's probably swollen from holding the shovel. But I didn't get any lines. That's because I wore 2 pairs of gloves. No, not one pair over here and one pair over there. I put small pairs on, and then I put my big fluffy wool thing on. So glad I made those mittens. I made some for me and some for my daughter-in-law. We were in Vancouver, and I was just trying to always use my time, and so I had a set of mittens I was working on. Started out as socks. I started it in the airport when we were leaving. It was going to be the Vancouver mittens or Vancouver socks, but it turned out to be mittens because I realized once I got that far that it was a perfect mitten. And they were. I'll have to get some more yarn happening. But you know, when I sit, I'm eating. And then I'm playing on my Minecraft or something, and so I'm not getting any handwork done. Oh, and Ellen, was it you that were talking about? It was either you or Susan or Regina. I think it was Susan. Anyway, about tatting and getting the hang of tatting. If you can get a little tatting shuttle, they used to have them at that craft store. There's a few craft stores down there. But I think it's changed its name. It's been bought out or something. Or whatever. There was a big store. It wasn't Michael's. It was another one that was much cheaper. And they had all kinds of things. Every kind of artwork, except stained glass. They didn't have stained glass. which is understandable. You don't want to have, well, whatever. Good morning, 5 people. Who's here? Does it say on there when somebody comes in? Do you see it on the thing? I can't access the words. As soon as I hang up, if I haven't read them, they're gone. I don't know how to do that. But I have seen it before. I don't know how it works. What time is it now? See, I couldn't roll over in bed. I couldn't maneuver myself very well. Oh. Oh. So are you having a good night's sleep? Everybody's been sleeping soundly, having a lovely time. Do you write down your dreams at all? I had an unusual dream the other night. I dreamed that somebody that did not like me at all was nice to me and liked me, and we were getting along. We were friends. I thought that was such a weird dream. It was kind of hopeful, you know? There are people in this world that we just don't mesh with. Their way of doing things, their attitudes toward us. My sister had some awesome information, awesome advice. Surround yourself with people who make you feel good about yourself. It's a pretty strong statement, isn't it? Most of us have no real control over a lot of people in our world, our children, the people at work or at church, or, you're just with the people that are in your world, the people that wait for the bus with your kids, whatever it is. And we're not with the people that we get along best with. Like we can choose, like on here, you can choose to be with me, I can choose to be with you. And it's fun, isn't it? Get to talking away. So who's here today? Nobody's very talkative. 6 people. And where are you from? What brought you this way? And how in the world can I access those comments on my smart TV? And how do you use OBS to stream Minecraft and play it at the same time? That is my big question. How do you do it? I have some projects going on, and I don't seem to be getting them done. Like watering all these plants up here and making this water solution, but like I couldn't do it on Friday because we went to the temple. Saturday I could have done it, I guess. Sunday is Sunday I don't do that sort of stuff on Sunday. Monday was the storm and shoveling. Why didn't I do it on Saturday? I think I was playing with you guys. I don't know what I was doing on Saturday. But last night, before the snow got going very strong, it would only have a little bit on it, I brought the rest of those orange containers in. And I brought in 2 tables that I thought I will use. One is a standing table. That's kind of interesting. You could put your laptop on top of it, and it's a standing desk, and you could be on there, but I'm not on my laptop very much. Well, I guess I am if I play Minecraft. Minecraft is so much fun. I wonder what I'll be making next. I think I'm going to finish making a replica of the grass hut structures. Good morning, Mary Rhea in Florida. Oh, now what part of Florida? Are you up in the north where you got snow? or down in the south where you have to worry about the water coming in. I remember Florida when it was marshland. It was really neat. I was back in about 75 or 74. I remember going down the Tamiami Highway. Was that a road? And then through the Everglades. Have I played Sims before? No, what is Sims? Sim City? I used to play Sim City. That was fun. Outside of Orlando. Oh, I've been to Orlando. Yes, Orlando. I've never been to Disney there. I think my parents took us to... No, I guess there wasn't Disney at the time. We went to California and we saw something. It wasn't Six Flags. Six Flags over Georgia and Six Flags over Texas. We went to them. But what was that other thing? We never spent tons of money to go to Disney World. There was something else like Disney World. I forgot what it was called, but you might remember. So, did you get these snowstorm yesterday? And how are the oranges? Is the crop going to be affected? That's all we need. Oranges are the thing that I can't store. I can store peaches and pears and pineapple and every other fruit under the sun, thank heavens. I used to buy cases of pineapple. When pineapple was 88 cents a can, I would buy a case. And when soup was real cheap, I would buy a case. This was allowed. Of course you could buy a case. And I would buy a case of tomato paste or tomato sauce. My kids liked spaghetti and all that stuff. So I would feed them all that. It's hard to be a good mother, don't you think? Because you just don't have the energy to be who you think you can be. And you don't have the patience to be the mother you think you can be. So you're always falling short of being the perfect mother that you think you can be. Or that you know your children need. Motherhood is really hard. And then if you do it wrong, you're in trouble forever. Oh, hi, Timmy. Nice to see you again. So how much snow did you get in the end? Did you get more? We have 20 inches. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't think I've ever had 20 inches here, which is so cool because... 6 inches. It looks good with 6 inches, though, doesn't it? I'll try and snowshoe when I get outside today. Can't wait to snowshoe. I love snowshoeing. But I'm in so much pain I won't be able to do a lot. It depends how much my painkillers take, But I also was eating this bag of Paddy Gothy chips. Because we had 20 inches of snow, and I got out there and I shoveled the first 4 inches. And I came back in and I looked out and saw it looked like it was the worst. And so I went out and I shoveled. This time it was like 8 to 12 inches. And it took all day. Or took a long time. It took all morning. And then I gave up. And now I'm in pain. Oh, but it will go away. It always goes away. It was just a matter of being nice to my back for a while. But I'm so glad I did it, because if I had not done it, it would be 20 inches deep out there. But as it is, it's not. I don't know how deep it is. Sorry, Nancy. I don't think we are under a frost warning with the oranges. I am a mother of 6 and a grandmother of 15 and a great-grandmother of 6. Oh, how wonderful. And do they live around you near in Florida? Oh my gosh, you need to be more careful. Lift with your knees, not your back. I wasn't even lifting, I was just pushing. I would push it and it would get stuck in the railing, so I would tip it up and I would kick the shovel toward the railing a few times, so banging it against it, and all the snow would fall down the other side. And that was lovely until it got to be the height of the deck. And you could no longer do that. Now it was higher outside than in. Then I had to swing it over. So I would shovel this way and throw it over my back because that was the least effort. That was the least amount of muscles. And I could be most in control. You know, I could really hold onto that shovel and plant myself and then do that. But I think it was just using the muscles. I don't think I did something wrong. I don't think I twisted it or anything. It's just that everything is so sore. It's like I ran a mile. Or worse. Like I danced a mile. Or like I shoveled snow. Anyway, but everybody is going through this, aren't they? I mean, the snow didn't just fall on me. Poor me. Look, I'm here. All the snow. The snow fell on, what is it, 30 million people? Yes, I was thinking that a hot bath would be good. But, you know, it's really hard to get down into a bath when everything is too seized up. I could put my mother's, you know, I loaned my heating pad to my daughter. That's right, so I don't have it. But I have those two I found from my mother. I'll have to try them. It's the back of my arms, you know. And my whole back and my hips, and you're really good folks to sit here and listen to me complain about my aches and pains. How are you doing? Did you guys all get you guys get snow? You guys, now who's here? We've got Temmie, so that's New York, and we've got Mary Ray, and that's Florida, and we've got not Jeff. What was your name? Oh, and yeah, we got Fiona is in Ireland. No, I'm sorry, New Zealand. And Ellen is in Wisconsin, and Jack is in London, England. There we go. So that's where we are. That's where we are from. You salt outside before you shovel, or you do your own Epsom's bath before you shovel. Interesting. The things that we learn, you know, trial and error. How wonderful. 5 kids that live nearby. I love having a big family. I had 5 children. It doesn't often snow here. It's just a little frosty. I think it's about 1 degree outside. That's 1 degree Celsius, right? So the sidewalk was for shoveling. Oh my. Well, I've never wanted to use salt because of the way it affects the earth. It always, you know, it kills the plants, and so wherever you put it, it's going to be there and soak through into the groundwater. At least out here, maybe, you know, in a city it wouldn't, but when Scarlett and Bo moved here, Bo immediately went out and got a bag of salt and put it everywhere, and I was like, what? You can't do that. But when you have ice, you use ashes. It's just so perfect. You've got them anyway, and what are you going to do with them? Dump them in a heap? You take one of those, it's a big spoon with many holes in it, like a flat spoon or something. Or even you could use a colander, and you carry it out and dump it in and shake it, or you know, scoop it up and then, and it blows, and it's just dust, and it doesn't take much at all. And that very fine dust is enough to make that, gives you an awesome grip on the ice. During the ice storm, I had to rescue my kids. You have no ashes. Oh. Gotta report you, darling. Away you go. There we go. This is a good chair. When things hurt, this is a good chair. I took out the fluffy stuff in the back. It was too fluffy. It was pushing my head forward. So now it's pretty flat, and it puffs out down at the bottom and by my back. So when my back hurts and I sit here, it's good. But it takes quite a bit of effort to get out of it. It's because you got to hold on to, you got to lean forward, and you got to press your legs down, and cheapers, I'm not going to be able to get out. I'm stuck. So I used to be stuck in this chair, but this chair makes you feel better, I think. Or it makes, yeah. I'm so glad I don't usually have pain anymore. I'm really glad. Isn't that cool? Like, what an accomplishment to have found out the causes of my pain and to have actually, to be in control of it. Like, it's in control of you most of the time. Like, oh no, I've got all this pain today and you don't know why. But if you really pay attention, you might be able to figure out and do things to get rid of it. At least if it's arthritic pain. That kind of pain. Yoga is really good. Man, when I do yoga, it stretches everything just enough that it, dancing is good too, but stretching is really good. Hi, Jonathan. How you doing? How is everything in Ireland? Ireland, the green place. Oh, it's all right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be moaning about it. It's just the way it is. I'll just have to relax and find nice things to do in my chair. Minecraft. Wait a minute. Jonathan, you're in Pulaski, but I thought Jillian was your mom, and she's in... Oh, you're right. You're Jonathan Thomas, not Jonathan Thompson. Jonathan Thompson and his mother, Jillian Thompson, they're in... I'm learning so much about who's who. You remember last night? Yeah, I do get confused. So how is Elmo today? Poor Elmo. You're up early, Pulaski. You're on the. It's 4:30 in the morning. Don't you sleep at night? Right, Pulaski, New York. It's good to put people in locations. Love watching you play my. Oh, did you watch that? Well, thank you. I am having fun with Minecraft. There's so many things to try out. You know, you can always come up with some other thing to play in there. Oh, let's decorate. Make an aquarium. You've got all these fish. Got rocks in him head. Jonathan, sleep with him when want. Poor guy. How old is Elmo? Anyway, so what were we saying? Who knows? It came and it went. The ideas, they float in like leaves on the trees. What your coordinates, Temmie? Syracuse. Elmo is 31. Poor Elmo. Is he okay? Did he get frostbite? Had to lose anything? Poor guy. Anyway, so we have 8 people that are not in bed. You're all supposed to be in bed. Really, Temmie? You a Cuz fan? Some of these words are foreign to me. But then I am a foreigner. Actually, no. Oh, a Cuse fan. Oh, you mean like Syracuse, a fan of the Syracuse team? Whatever that is. Okay. You know, this is a different world. People that have interests. Cuz, what part of the cuz you live, Tammy? Oh, are you going to get it, Mary? Oh, that'll be fun. What do you want to do on there? Like, I like, yeah, okay, I like replicating places that I have. You know, like trying to set things up in the same manner. The west side, that's which way. I never go through the west side of Syracuse. I always go through the east side, or I go through the north and south side. I go straight south. I-81 is a pretty cool highway. You know where it goes? Nowhere. Canada. That's it. But it doesn't end at Canada. In fact, you can't cross that border unless you're on it. Rough neighborhood. Why not at the rescue mission are you? What business do I have in Syracuse? Well, I'm always driving through. When I go, I don't go anymore. You know, it's COVID being what it is, and my mother and father and brother going. When I used to go down and see them and take care of them, I would go straight south on I-81 through Syracuse. It's so much fun to play with grandchildren, but just try to keep them away from the flint and steel and the buckets of lava and the buckets of water. If you can do that, you've won. But I like to to Georgia, Athens, Georgia. We all lived there. But not in a yellow submarine. And when I go to Connecticut, I go south to Syracuse and then I turn left. Yep, I'll build a home of my own so I can travel. Yes. Yes, it's perfect. And then you can make roads and pathways, and you can make minecart tracks, like railroad tracks, and put a minecart on it and jump in. And you can just make minecart tracks that just go everywhere. You can just play. And you can go in creative mode and you can fly all around. And some of the scenery is very pretty at sunrise and sunset. And it's interesting how they've tried to make things to incorporate the rules of reality in items. Yes, I suppose you would be very worried about him, Jonathan. Yes, indeed. Look, there's 8 of you. Hello, 8 people. I don't remember where everybody's from, and some of you haven't said, but I think, let's see, we've got Jack in London, England, and Mary in Florida, and Jonathan in Pulaski, New York, and Tammy in upstate New York, and I don't know the other one. There was a few more, weren't there? I guess that's everybody. Wow. Anyway, so tell me the sort of thing that you do in Florida. What's like a typical day like down there? Lay out in the front yard and get a little bit of a tan? It's turnover time. Well, I guess you're getting a cold snap. Oh, and 1 thumbs up. Look, it's 6 thumbs up. Bless your hearts. I think my hair is falling off because this is clip. I think this clip maybe breaks the hairs. There's always something to work on, isn't there? I haven't been playing the violin lately. I was thinking of playing it, but I haven't done it. I guess you don't mind when I play the violin. I could just set you somewhere and play it. Some of you like it more than others. The ones that don't, just find something they do like. That's the best thing to do. Others tell me how bad it is, but not many. But I'm getting better. But you're never done. You know, like I'm not, it's not like you make a basket and you get the basket finished and it's done and it's perfect or it's what you want it to be. You burned yourself tanning today. Oh. Oh. So there we have it. Yes, getting burned in the tanning bed. We used to lie on the Shea Lounge at the bottom of the driveway. And we would, it was flat at the bottom and it was a big hill to get up to the road. And we used to lay there on those Shea Lounge chairs and bask in the sun and just bake back in the 60s. Yes, indeed. I spent many hours baking in the sun and putting that amazing smelling coconut oil. What was that? Copper tone tan and then there was a stuff you could get in a tall tube. No, they're not good for your health. There was a stuff you could get in a tube and you could smear it all over your body and it would change your color. And so you would look like you had a tan. I mean, it wouldn't change your color. It would just, it's like putting mud on your body, right? So you'd have a tan. And so that was, I remember having some of that. What does that mean? Who is Ryan Hall, y'all? Is that somebody on here, like a YouTube channel? Ryan Hall, y'all. No. Is good for seasonal affective disorder. Oh, yes, it is. That's right. Yes, I think so. But you can also get one of those lamps that you can set on the table, and it's got all that extra. Yes, you're right. I didn't think about that. I haven't heard of using it for that. I'm gonna see if I could put you here. Fix my hair. See, these are sharp on the edges. That's what happens when you get dollar store stuff. So I should sand them. Well, I just meant, Fiona, like sometimes, like if you've got seasonal affective disorder, it is good. But if it's, oh, it's a weather channel. Oh, interesting. Ah, yes. SAD is no fun. I have that too. You guys help me with that a lot. But also getting enough light, and whenever the sun comes out, oh yes, you have a light box. Yes, perfect. That's good. Yeah, when we were in Vancouver, they didn't get much sunshine there. Oh yeah, you'd have a lot of clouds there in Pulaski. Because that's on the side of the lake. It's like Watertown. You get all that. Do you get all that snow drifting from the lake? What is that called? The sun belt. No, the snow belt. Good old Elmo. Yes, well, sad is, it's pretty awful, isn't it? Lake effect, that's right, lake effect snow. And so you would not get any sunlight for months. I mean, you'd get clouds all the time. Here, when it gets cold, it's bright. It's wonderful. But we have gone a while without a lot of sun. Everything's different now. We expect things to be the way it used to be, but we have to get used to our new reality. But I don't know how people can continue to go on when things get shut down and they don't work, and then they just get further and further behind and further in debt. Like, how are they all going to get out of debt? What's going to happen? This is quite a blow to everybody. And then on top of that, there's all these tornadoes and earthquakes and tsunamis and all kind of fires and floods, and everybody's losing stuff. This is a rough time out there for people. We got to be loving to each other. We got to care more about other people, you know? Got to spread a good word, smile at them. Be careful not to have road rage. Don't make ugly attitudes towards them when you're driving. Treat people nicely. Wait, when somebody's going to pull out in a parking lot, you pause and wait for them. Yeah, you can buy them from Walmart, one of those lights. Wow, you're going to go back to school. Good job. That would be fun. So what are you going to take in school? Last night, Wessam was on from Jordan, and he was telling us he has 9 classes every day. He has 2 math, 2 physics, Arabic, Islamic studies at 6. I don't know if English was on that. I don't think so. He lives in Jordan. It was neat in Amman. I used to be in Amman, Jordan for a little while. Yes, yes, but you know, I think that classes, yeah, Wessam, he's cool, eh? I wonder, like classes in what what are you gonna take? But you know, I was thinking, if you go back to school when you're old, you now, because you've read magazine articles and watched documentaries. Oh, we had English too. So that's 7. So what were the last 2? Chemistry, 8. So one more. Boy, I can't remember, eh? Concentration. Remember that game? Anyway, I think that because you're older, and you know, when I was going to school, oh, you're going to nursing. Oh, yes. Oh my. Oh my goodness. What a job awaits. Anyway, I think that because, you know, having raised children and looked up so many diseases in the book, you know a lot about that stuff. You know all kinds of stuff about science because of all the experiences you've had, the animals you've seen, and the learning about gravity and its real effects, and about physics, you know, what happens if you don't pull the clothesline tight enough, and how much force is there if you let go of one end when you're trying to put it together and it goes way out. 2 maths, 2 science, 1 English, 1 Arabic, and 1 religion. That's Islam was the religion, right? 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was one more, wasn't there? Yeah. 2 maths. No, 2 maths, 2 physics, and chemistry. And I don't know what the other one was. because I thought, well, that's interesting to have 2 maths and 2 physics. Oh, Willem's sleeping. After all, look at the time. He gets up at 10. It is now 4:45 a.m. He's so nice. Yeah, I have no idea what they were. But anyway, as I was saying, because of all the life experiences you've had, you probably do so much easier on the test than the regular kids. Yeah, Willem's pretty good at the piano. He sure is. He worked so hard yesterday working on that driveway. And then our neighbor saved him and used his tractor and finished it. I had us park our cars close to the road edge. Not so close that the dike would go up underneath the car, the snowplow dike, but I could then easily just back out onto there. But you can't. Oh, that's good, not stressing tests. 7 people are here. Good morning, everybody. Are you just dropping in on your way to the bathroom and back? That's perfectly understandable. That's what this is all about, this time of day. And if you can't sleep, well, it's a good time to put on a movie. We'll watch Nancy today. So I'm working on my Minecraft on my straw bale house, my teepee. And I've got the place over the 2 chairs. I've made that. And then I've got the basketry dome. But, you know, I should have placed it better. I should have gone and found a stream first. And then... Sorry. I think the way to do it is you find the location that just suits exactly what you're trying to replicate. Oh, are you on Minecraft, Jonathan? What is your name on Minecraft? That would be fun. We could check out each other's stuff. Yeah, Minecraft is fun. When my little grandson is still in the game but he's not there, sometimes I'll build a wall around him. Put him in a little box and he comes in and then he has to break his way out. When the first time that happened to me, my son did that to me. He put me in this cage that had no I guess it was metal doors or something, and I couldn't open the doors. I couldn't get out, and I was in creative mode, or not in creative mode. Jonathan Incognito. That's your name? Jonathan Incognito. I'm going to have to go down and get my book eventually. Well, who knows? You know, it was dark when I started shoveling yesterday. I was so full of beans. I was like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to shovel this stuff. It was 1 inch the first time. It got to be 4 inches. It was 4 inches in some places. And then as I was shoveling it, it kept coming down. And it was quite surprising, and I wondered if it was something I was doing, if I was creating the way of the drift so that it was causing more snow to fall. But then I thought, this is stupid. This is a major snowstorm. You're not causing the snow to fall. It's falling, duh. I'm glad I covered things that I covered. I put this thing over my chair there, and I only had a dusting of snow in it instead of 20 inches. Isn't that cool? But then there's no place to put the snow off the deck. You have to be careful because you can't make a mountain. If you make a mountain, it's going to come in worse next time. It's going to fill up to the top of the mountain first. So you have to be smooth out there. You can't. But where do you put it? So then I dumped it on the other side. There's 2 sides and there's spots where the railing isn't finished. I guess I should do them. That's pretty important. Anyway, so what's up? Tell me more. Tell me more. So Jonathan Incognito. I'll have to make a note of that. And so when you go on, like, how do I find your channel? If you go on, if you're playing a game with, in a world rather than a game on a, what is it called, a, a realm, featured realms or something, where they have these games. I was in one the other day, and you could build. It was called Just Build, or Build Master Builders or something. Anyway, I was going in there. It was on Hive, the Hive or something. And I went in there and I actually won some contests. Like, there would be a lot of people in the contest, and one of the challenges was art. You had to make a creative artistic design. And everybody was busy building all kinds of things, and I put beds on the ground. I started with one color. I put all these 10 different colors in my hotbar, and I started with one, and so I would make beds into a square, and then I would go around them and place beds and place beds and place beds. Oh, you've been on the Hive before. Jack, I didn't know that. Hello, what's your name on Minecraft? Oh, this is fun. Maybe we'll see each other. I'm going to have to get up and get my book. Anyway, and so I made all these beds that go round and round and round. So this whole area you could fly overhead, and it was a beautiful, it was like a rainbow of colors in squares and rectangles shape, It was very pretty. And I won. I think I won 3rd place. And then another time I won 2nd place. I don't remember what that one was for. Oh, I think it was my fireplace. Yeah, you had to build a fireplace, and so I had a chimney, and I had fire coming up, and I made a fireplace the other day, and you had dispensers. You put 3 dispensers in them, and you fill them with flint and steel, and then you have a button. You have all this redstone going from them to where a button is, and so you click on the button, and then the fire's all light. Oh, you're on incognito. Okay, I can't have nuts like Echo breaking into my home. I understand, yes. Yes, good old Elmo. Anyway, yeah, play with your grandchildren and you can say goodbye to all your precious stuff. I can take all of you into my house because it's not dangerous. Nobody's going to wreck anything. It's really hard to just stand around in Minecraft and not do something. Poor Elmo. Anyway, so Minecraft it's a wonderful escape. If you're a gardener and you like gardening and you can't garden because it's winter, well, you can go in there and you can garden. You can place the water in the right places so that all of your blocks will get enough moisture. Otherwise, they'll dry up and your stuff won't grow. And you can plant wheat, and then you can watch it grow, and then you can go and harvest it all, and then you can go and feed it to the cows, and then they can have babies. You can feed it to the sheep and the pigs. Everybody likes wheat. Not everybody. Oh, and if you want to have I love playing it. But it's lonely in there. Like, if you spend like 6 hours playing Minecraft, you may have, unless you really wanted to accomplish something. But if you're just in there playing around, it's lonely. And animals are good. You have animals, it's kind of nice. And if you have a purpose. You're having a hard time with that keyboard tonight, aren't you, Jack? Or tomorrow. You're having a hard time with it tomorrow. I would play it a lot during the pandemic in high school to talk to my friends. Oh, really? Oh, you could friend me. I'm Nancy Today. Capital Nancy, space capital Today. You could friend me. Send me a friend invite. And I could come and visit you. Wouldn't that be fun? You could show me around. And hope I won't get slaughtered by all the monster sorts. My son Daniel had me in his game, and he said, "Mom, here, you stand over here." And he had all these lights everywhere around so all the bad guys couldn't come, but he wanted to fight them. Like, this was his thing. He had his weaponry, his bows and arrows and his whatever, and he would peek out the door and then shoot them and quick come back in. All these random monsters that show up. But anyway, if you have enough light, they don't get you. But you know, I've always got monsters spawning everywhere. Hey, have you ever done /locate mansion and found a mansion to play in? I have a mansion. Well, of course, I made the mistake of showing one of my grandsons. That would be little Desmond. And he put lava on the top of each of them. And so I only had one, but I cloned it. I cloned it 3 times. You go up above the top corner and you measure what that block is named, and then you go all the way down to the lower other opposite corner and you put in, you know, the coordinates of that position. You put /clone and then that coordinate and then that coordinate. So it's just /clone 100, 100, 100, 300, 300, 300, you know. So you put the first coordinate, the top coordinates, and then you do the bottom coordinates. Just add the 3 numbers. You don't need commas. You don't need any brackets, nothing. Lamoureux. Now, wait a minute. Who was his? That was the last name of somebody. I forget who he was. I don't know. Anyway, so that's how, and then you just put in the 3 coordinates of the destination, the place, the corner, the bottom corner where you want it. But I always do it the wrong direction. I don't have it figured out. And then I try and analyze it. So I'll clone all these houses to be beside each other, and then I'll try and figure out why they're not turned the other way. And, you know, if I go closer, am I putting them the front doors beside each other, or am I putting them down the road, you know? So can you see, what can you see on here other than comments? And does anybody know how I can see what you're seeing on when I watch the video later? Will these all be visible to everybody? Will they come up, or they only come up to the people that are in the game right now, and then they're gone, or not the game, in the video? You know, we used to have these very complicated conversations when I was growing up. My cousin came over once and she said, "Why couldn't we just have a regular conversation? It always had to be some big, you know." And that's the way it is with my kids sometimes too. Like one of my sons, my son Daniel, he specifically phoned me up to tell me about China. Like, he used to live in China and now he lives in Vietnam, and he was like, "You got to be against China, Mom. Look what they're doing." I mean, like, he's right up there on not politics, but right up there on the world stuff. They usually don't show up. I think there's a way to change it so that they're enabled after the video is uploaded, but I'm not sure how. Oh, so I have to do that maybe in my settings somewhere in YouTube Studio. Yeah. It would be one of the settings. If it's got a list of settings, I don't know if it does. Most things do. Do 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 do. My son has, not my son, my two grandsons have Mario Maker. I was over there one day and my daughter, was curled up on the couch creating a game for her son to play with Mario Maker, trying to make it really difficult for him. I was impressed. That's kind of a neat thing to do with your kids. Yeah. I wish I had played Minecraft when my kids were young. I wish I had played it with them. I mean, the most I would come into the room and it's like, okay, Mom, can you leave now, Mom? Can you leave? Okay, goodbye, Mom. Leave, Mom. Go. Mom, just go. Mom, get out of my room. Whoa. Close the door. There was a lot of activity in my house when we had a lot of kids living here. We had the three young ones were all raised here. Abraham was 3 when we got here. So the 3 youngest, this was the only home. Well, no, I guess we lived in another town before that, but for the youngest, this was his only home he ever had. But he sure liked it after the renovation. This is like, whoa, this is nice coming home too. But up here, this is all pretty much the same. Well, no, I've changed. I put these 2 windows weren't here. And that window was smaller. And there used to be a window up there. And I put the fan in, and there was a window in there afterwards. And I built that loft up there. No, I didn't do it. Ben did it. Yeah, Ben was helping me. I tore apart some of it. But he put it together. I had a big post on the corner for a while. I really wanted to have a post. I wanted this area to be like a children's nook where they could get up there and look at those stairs. I mean, they're great for children. I got to get all that stuff put up there because that needs to be for the kids. What a good idea. And even if I don't go through it now, maybe I should just get some big bins and see, it's not very well packed, but they are small containers. But you know, I could probably just lay them all the way across the top of there. What do you think? See, up there? I could lay them across the top and this whole thing would be freed up. And there's a loft up there that's also full. We don't have an attic, just that little bit. So, and we don't have a basement either. And these are the only closets, are these 2. And 2 downstairs. So this stuff could all go up there. And then I could even, a desk and table and chairs. Or they don't need chairs, they've got all those steps. Or maybe have it just empty. Wouldn't that be interesting to have something empty in my house? Or I could put one of these toy things, like there's this dollhouse and there's a kitchen. I could put things like that up there. But probably it'd be best just to have it as a play place where they take the toys and they go up there with their toys and play. Play Barbie dolls, or Maya loves Barbie dolls. Yeah. Yeah, what a good idea. I'll do that right away. Minecraft gives me ideas now. It's really interesting because you can make your house look like an amazing place, if you play, if you turn the stairs, if you turn them upside down, they can be like tables. And if you turn them up this way, then they can be like the trim at the edge of the house. They go up and come out and look beautiful. Anyway, I've been learning more about construction as I do this. And when you go playing around with the mansion, in some of these gamers online, They have turned these mansions into their houses, and they are really beautiful. They really have done them up. And there's these rooms, these chest rooms, they're full of chests, and you could store all your stuff there. And there's a garden room. I mean, there's many bedrooms, and there's even this fenced-in area inside. I think it's probably for wrestling matches or something, or you could put animals in there. Was that Hong Kong? Authorities say they will cull some 2,000 small animals. They get bird flu or something? Small animals. Maybe there's just too many animals on the little island. You remember when they did that to the blackbirds? There were blackbirds migrating through and they were eating all the sunflower seed crops. And so they poisoned the birds. I mean, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. Like they're selling sunflower seeds to feed the birds. And if you kill off the birds, well, would that maybe impact your sales? Well, I used to feed the birds, but they don't come anymore. There's no birds anymore. But maybe they were like a plague and coming in and eating every last sunflower seed. But I don't think that I think that we're kind of carried away on what we think is our rights and how we can live on this earth. I mean, poor Mother Earth. Like, look what she's got to deal with. I think she's kind of sick of us. I think she's just shaking us off. Give us a little earthquakes, a little volcanoes. How about some rain? I'll rain on you for 5 days. How about 20 inches of snow? How about blizzards and floods and burn your town down? Mother Earth is not, she's in a bad mood, I think. I think we're like bees stinging her. Poor Mother Earth, The earth has a spirit. Do you know that? Have to report this person again. All these little comments that are 3 letters, a dot, and 3 letters and dot, 3 letters. Those are all spam. It's related to porn, I think. Yes, tornadoes, typhoons, like this is weird world, eh? So nothing is the same. So if you used to get gentle rains, you will now get heavy rains. If you used to get a bit of drought, you will now get severe drought. If you used to get the odd earthquake, now you get big ones. Isn't it amazing to have a volcano just show up in the ocean? I don't know how big what is actually underwater. I don't know what they've gone to look at. Is it just an explosion in the flat bottom of the ocean? Or did a volcano form? Like a volcano, the sides of the volcano, what we call a volcano, how do I have bugs in here? This is supposed to be winter. I get 6 months off, no bugs. That is the rule. If I'm going to have winter, I have no bugs. Just sort of had to put that in there. Well, the earth has a spirit because when you read the Bible, they always talk about how the earth moaned under the wickedness of the people. I know, like the last snowstorm was named Izzy. Yeah, the earth can't get away from us. Like the earth, if you're out in the woods by yourself in the woods, you can feel it. It's really, there's this feeling in the woods. And I think it's the spirit of the earth and, the spirit of the Lord. But also, I think it's the natural vibes of the planet, of the earth. And we change that. Like if you go into a house where there's crap happening and it's all dark and it feels awful in there and it's like a shell, nobody's home. Yes, you're right. They do. At least it's not from apple cores. Yes, well, you have to make sure, because if you get an apple core in a pile, and you know how piles grow. Like there's nothing worse than having an apple core in a pile. It will make the pile completely uneven, and as the pile grows during the day, papers and books and the apple core and some more papers and a book or two and some pens. Oh, well, I'm going there on a press trip. I'll meet you there. You probably can do that too, Jonathan. Um, Good. I'm glad you didn't have a lot of snow to shovel. So, is this snowstorm Izzy? Is that what we're getting? I used to watch all these things, but I find it harder now to watch the Weather Channel because it's all these television shows. Ellen, it's in Wisconsin. The coordinates are pretty specific. I don't know if we should ask each other our coordinates on here, because it's like then you can know exactly where the front porch is. I think that we have to keep ourselves a little bit more cognizant of that. Jim Cantori is the most important man on earth. Yes, I like Jim Cantori. I think he's one of those. Wisconsin on Earth. Yes, the moon coordinates are going to be different. You know, I remember about 30 years ago. Was it 30? Yeah, I think about 30 years ago. You could buy a plot on the moon. You remember that? Somebody was selling deeds to so for just a very small amount of money, like for $10 or $15, you could buy your very own lot of land on the moon, and they were selling it. These idiots, they'd claimed it. Yeah, gosh, it's interesting how people. There is authority, and authority is important. I could train your lizard. Um. Uh, yeah, there's authority. I'm so glad that there are laws and there is justice, and I'm really glad. For a while there, it looked like there were no laws anymore. That if you said that this was true, then it was true. And that you couldn't be held responsible for it because everybody else said that you're probably true too. Yes, yes, going to space. Well, you see, when I was on press trips as a travel writer, I decided that on my bucket list at the end of that, I want to go to Churchill, Manitoba and watch actually there's three. Churchill, Manitoba and watch the polar bears. I want to go to the Arctic and the Antarctic. And look at this. I really can't get it out. Well, if you can give it your E, that's your expensive. You are a cheesehead, Ellen. Um, anyway, I can't figure out what's going on there. So I was going to go to the moon. That would be my other thing on when there's a press trip, because before it's really into people going all the time. Oh, your inheritance, right? Um, if you Before people are going to really start wanting to go to the moon, it has to be advertised. I know there is a certain amount of people that just want to go, so there is a lot of that. But you will always need a destination. But you always need a destination. And so a destination has to publicize itself. Especially, I guess, once they get into competition, when it's only one person that's doing these flights. Was it Jeff Bezos that's going along, and is it Tesla that's who? No, it's Starlink or Star something. I forget who these companies are and who they're owned by. He never used to care about who owned companies before. That was something that we didn't never worried about, never thought about. Anyway, the guy that's going up there. So once there's competition, then they'll need somebody to market it. And so then I will see if I can go on a press trip. Who knows? Maybe it'll be in 20 years and I will be like, the article will be about 100-year-old woman goes to the moon. You know, I could write articles for whoever. Get their name in all the big shot papers. I mean, that would be a good reason to hire me, right? Because I can write awesome articles. I'm a good writer. I never used to be able to say that, but it's true. I'm good. Anyway, so I could write articles and other advertising. It's the best advertising. So someone one or maybe yes, what it'll be is oh, hi Jordan. Could you say hello to my brother and sisters? All right, here we go again. Jamie, Emma, Louise, and Wendy as they sitting with me munching on breakfast. Well, how nice. It's so nice to see you girls. Well, yes, you're both girls, right? Jamie, Emma, Louise. Oh, and the brother. Wait. You got all these people at the table? Oh, my goodness. Let's see there. Hi, Jamie. And hi, Emma, Louise, and Wendy. Hello. Is everybody having a nice breakfast? Now, let's see. Let's play a game. What are Wendy and Jamie and Louise and Wendy having for... No, wait. Jamie, Louise, Emma. Jamie, Emma, Louise, and Wendy. What are they having for breakfast? I say they're having dried toast with cheese and some kind of a meat. Am I right? Because you're in Ireland. What do people in Ireland eat? People really eat haggis in Ireland? I mean, tell me as this is not a true thing. I'm so glad you can talk back. It's almost like Google. Oh, here we come. Wisconians are known as cheeseheads, Nancy. Calm down. Oh, cool. Hi, Nancy. Jordan here. Yes, I said hi. We watched the game tonight, and the players are getting hurt bad. Aw. Sup, Jordan and friends. Something munchy. Yes, something munchy. I say they're having Twizzlers and Tootsie Rolls. Nope, shredded wheat. They all say hello, hello, hello. You can buy haggis here as well. It's a Scottish dish, but it's actually not too bad. Well, is it cooked like so that so that it's really, really, really soft and chewable? Like, to me, I had haggis once, and it was like trying to eat a piece of rubber. Oh, we'll just have this rubber balloon for dinner. Oh, it's not thick enough. Let's add 4 more layers to it. All right. Now we'll eat it. I'm sorry. I hope that was not offensive. 84 minutes. Do you know, how is it possible? In the beginning, Nancy created 10-minute videos. Shredded wheat. Is that what she said? I thought it was what she said. Shredded wheat, yep. The big ones are the little ones, huh? Oh, wish they're the best. Let's have a moment of silence for Elmo, folks. We prayed for Elmo. I think he's in good hands. So, I used to eat Chex, Chex cereal, and it was so good, corn Chex. And I went to look to see if maybe I could have it. Which did you say is your favorite? Chex, the little ones? Because you answered as I was speaking, so you couldn't have been talking about what I was talking about. There are little slight problems with this format. Oh, the big ones. You like the big ones. I always had to put a lot of sugar on them. Oh, yes. Chex Mix is good too. But the Chex cereal. Oh, it was so good. Corn Chex. And I accept it's got real sugar in it, so I can't eat it. I mean, I could eat it, but I don't think it has wheat in it. I'm not sure. Maybe it does. But wouldn't that be good to have gluten-free, sugar-free corn Chex? Ha, we could ask. Put up your hand if you want gluten-free, corn-free, gluten-free, sugar-free corn Chex. My hand, look at it. It's not able to open properly anymore. It's like people coming in the night and tying my body up and poking it with pins and all these things going on. Look at what's happened to it. Making my skin fall off, melting. They claim corn Chex are, oh, really? Oh, wow. Now they just need to be sugar-free. Jonathan, you're a hoot. It's nice to talk to you. What's the time now? It's getting later, not older. Good morning, Jillian. Sure, can't sleep. Your back is dirt. So I just have a nice, relaxing day. You know, Jillian, I love that little picture beside there. That little pink thing. How'd you get to have such a little pretty pink thing? Is that? Oh, that's what those are. Those are all of our pictures. Whatever picture we have. Is it? Can you choose that? So, Jillian, you have a house full, don't you? You have, let's see who's at the table. There's Jonathan. He's having his big his big shredded wheat. And let's see who else is there. There's Jamie and Emma. Oh, look, and Louise. And there's Wendy. Yeah, everybody's there with you. I can see. I have windows into your windows. You're giving me windows. Thank you. So, judging by your pretty picture there, it's a spring day. Is it spring where you are? Is it just lovely as can be? Or is it damp and cold and rainy and you're staying inside trying to stay cozy, but it's kind of really a miserable day, but you can't think about that, so it's probably best to close the curtains and pretend it's dark out. Who, me? Would I do that? Yeah, I got some curtains. I found that was good for my SAD. When the clouds were so awful looking and depressive outside, I just closed the curtains and put on lights. Should probably paint paintings on the back of the curtains. Wow. Wouldn't that be cool if you painted the view on the curtain? From Romper Room, Nancy. What are we talking about now? What did I miss? I'm sure they make them. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. From Romper Room. I can't remember what you're talking about. Romper Room. I must say it's quite entertaining to hang out with you. I mean, I started out sitting here. I'm really all by myself in this room up here, and yet because I have this little piece of this little television screen. Oh, look, I'm on television. Because I have this in my hand. You know, these purple walls really do not go with this chair. I wonder where my Hawaiian thing is. Maya decided she doesn't like purple anymore. But it's Elida's favorite, and she painted the walls, and I think it would be rude of me to unpaint them. We could put children's handprints all over them, though. Like, we could give them white paint, and they could make their handprints all over the walls. It could be the most amazing wallpaper. I could start them out. I could have a stand up on a step stool or up on the bed or on a barrel or something, and they could put their hands. I could have a bowl of white paint. They could put their hand in it, let it drip off, and then they could put handprints all over, and they can just slap both hands all over the wall. Try not to drag them, and then I could take them off of there so they'd be on something. They'd be standing on the ground and they could reach lower. Isn't that an awesome idea? They could also make stars on the ceiling. They could use white paint. I know they could use a broom handle or something like that, and they could dip the broom handle in paint and then just touch the wall. Touch the ceiling. What if you did it with a hey, what an interesting idea. What if you put white dots on the ceiling with the broom, but you put you guys, I love talking to you about stuff like this. But you take suction cups, little suction cups, and you put the paint on with them. You dip them in paint and you put them on the ceiling and you push them on. Isn't that a great idea? And then they would dry there and you would have all these little hooks on the ceiling. But I would like to draw the stars on the ceiling, but I think I would like to do it so it's accurate. Naturally. Why not? So what I could do is get a star map. And I know how to do it. You have to project it on the ceiling. That's the way to do it. So what you got to do then, you have to take a star map and you have to poke holes. Wherever there's a white dot, you poke a hole that size. And then you put it on the top of a lamp. So you'd have the circle paper and you put the circle paper on top of the lamp. It's got all those holes in it, and then you're going to see the light is not going to be able to come through except through the holes, and so you're going to get these dots all over the sky, all over the ceiling, which will be your starry sky. I think that's an awesome idea. I wanted to put stars on the sky, on the ceilings, but I didn't know how to do it once. You know, once upon a time I used to have, you might remember this, I used to have a window up there, and I couldn't see out the window, but it headed to the forest. You could see, if you were right there, you could see the far forest. And so stay out of the shadow. And then I put mirrors on the sloped ceiling above the window, and then I angled them and stood them to the sides. I think I put one in the corner of the wall. I put a mirror in the corner and a mirror above the window, and another mirror on the other side over there, so that everything would reflect. and I could lay in my bed and I could look in the mirrors and I could see that hill, which is like I'm 10 feet too short to be able to see it. And that was cool, and it would also make the sun shine right on my bed. This used to be our bedroom in the winters. It just seemed nice. It had the wind, it had the light, and the heat rose too, so. But I'm thinking about different places to feed the deer. They'll be coming now. Everything's covered up. 20 inches. That's a lot of snow. But that's going to be hard for them to get through. They're going to have singular paths, single file paths everywhere they are. And they're just all going to wake up in the morning and stand up and be surrounded by all this snow. Those deer beds are going to be so incredible. They might have fallen in somewhat, but you'll definitely be able to see them. I don't think they get up when it's snowing. They just stay put. I don't think that they're in much danger because everything is staying put. I'm not sure how it works in the animal world. I know that if it's raining hard, there's less people on the road. Somehow there's nobody going anywhere. And then as soon as the rain is over, the roads are full. I don't know. They don't all get off the road, but it's just the way it seems. Are you commenting about the state of my fingernails? Is this what this conversation has become? We're at that level, are we? I've been gardening. I have my garden in the room. I wonder if I should water it. Well, I know I should water it. What is red light therapy? Yes, that's right. Well, and the chipmunks. But you know what I did? As I was shoveling it off the decks, I was letting it all go in under the deck, right? It would fall there and it would make and so then I would push it a bit so that it actually filled up. It would fill up around the foundation, around the edge of the deck, because there is no foundations or there were no walls. And so I think it'll be nice and warm, much warmer for the animals that shelter under there. I'm not sure if there's a cat under there now. Yes, I think so. Yes, I think it is. It's a good thing. Well, I shan't be wandering around cleaning the house today. Or shoveling snow either. What's the day of the week? Tuesday. Oh yeah, we're supposed to go get the snowblower if it's done. He's going to call when they're getting the part is a new gas tank because the gas tank is filled with rust. How? Is that because I emptied the tank in the autumn and then it was very damp? Did the dampness get in and cause rust, or was there was there water in the gas can? Yes, I did. Well, I didn't throw my back out. My back is actually not out. I'm just very stiff. I think maybe all those things I ate that had the possibility may contain wheat and milk. Maybe it got me. I don't know. It's about time to have tea. Is it morning yet? What time is it? How long have we been doing this? 3:30, wasn't it? We started 99 minutes ago, so it's now 99 minutes, so 60:90, so it's 20 to 6, so 25 to 6, so at 25 to 5, so it was... But wait, I got up at 3:45, wasn't it? So 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:30. Yeah, so I guess we've been on from 5:30. So we've been on since 4. Look, we're at 100 minutes. What was the reason that things were divided into 12? Was it like a dozen eggs? It's because we were in base 2, or we're in base 10 now, but we were in base 12. And so that's why you have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those numbers all are one group. And then you've got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that's another group. And then you go on to the other kinds of groups. But it's because they were in base 12 and not in base 10. They had 12 months. But they didn't have 12 hours. And oh yes, a day is broken into 12 hours and 12 hours. Interesting to make 24, but wouldn't it just be counting from sunrise to sunrise? Well, no, I don't know. I guess if you're on the equator, it's 6 hours, 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. What do you think? What do you think about that idea of making white handprints? Look at that wall. Wouldn't white handprints look nice on that? White little children handprints. I think that's an awesome idea. I mean, look at this. Look how bare it is. But yet, look how wonderfully white goes with purple. You know, when I was young, I made a dress. It was a purple dress with a beautiful big white collar. And I have a dress like that again. I heard something. Was that the sound of someone stumbling to the bathroom? Who knows? I can't hear very well anymore. Did you hear it? How is it picking sounds up? I filled in the hole in the side of Willem's car. I don't know if you've seen my other cars. Did you ever see Chemical Warfare? No. I think that was before your time. But it wasn't before my children's time. And Chemical Warfare, that was the name of a Firefly car. She lives on in infamy. You know, because I was a travel writer, I probably have a lot more stories. Well, no, I think everybody's got a story. Every day of our life is a story. But you only remember the things that really stand out. But a lot of people travel. I mean, you look at those airplanes, and a lot of people are in the air a lot. So they're all traveling, and all these people have stories. But when my mother was young, my mother went away to college, and she married my dad, and then they moved to Georgia, and they raised their children there. They had jobs. They had busy job lives. And they had kids that they had to come home and feed. No, it wasn't like that. My dad was a professor. He would come home about 4, and he would take his book and he would go upstairs. He had an office. No, he didn't have an office when I was growing up. Not at home. But once I was gone, my room became his office. My room. The room I painted green. I had it in big checkerboard. I painted it green and white. In checkerboard thing. I was a kid. I don't know. I was probably 15 or something. Maybe 14. I think we painted our rooms several times. Oh, it used to be 10. Interesting. Yes, the good old dump. I'll make videos again there. It just has to be on a day when I'm going, and we were tired on it. We'd just driven to Toronto and back on Friday, so Saturday we didn't feel like going. And Thursday we went somewhere and didn't make it home in time. We were too tired to go to the dump. What is this? This is sounding like a habit. Too tired, too tired, too tired. Gonna have to have a different habit. No time to stop. Have to keep moving. If you don't keep moving, you'll seize right up. This chair is good for my back, but only for a certain amount of time because it keeps me from moving. I usually bounce my knees when I'm sitting in chairs. Excuse me, is that making you sleepy? Look, 11 people and 12 thumbs ups. You guys like these, don't you? I like Minecraft. Oh, wasn't that fun? Bouncing up and down in the pool, splashing in the bathroom, splashing in the bathtub. I had a good time making that. It's really fun now that I've learned how to make a working bathroom. Yes, yawns are very contagious. How old are you, Jonathan? Is that okay to ask that? I want the kids to paint this white. I want them to put white handprints on everywhere. I want them to go up the walls and back there. I'm gonna do this. Old as dirt. I remember that. That was a Southern expression, wasn't it? Or an American one. Old as dirt, old as the mountains. But you old enough to be my mom. Is that right? Well, there you go. You're not very young. I'm probably old enough to be your grandma. I'm old as the mountains. I'm old as dirt. Why, I remember when I was young, before they invented water, well, we had to drink Coke. I tell you, I wouldn't lie. I kid you not. I would lie, and I am kidding. Oh, my ass, I told that to my children or somebody. No, when we were young, we had to drink Coke. That was before they created water. Do you remember when Coke came out? Do you remember when there was nothing like Coke? Do you remember that? It was like, and somebody, I don't know, they said there was something bad in it, Coke something. I don't know, was it cocaine? Or what is Coke? I can't remember. Why do I keep saying that? It's like a self-prepper. What's the word for that? An echo chamber. There's a lot of echo chambers out there these days. I tell you, echo chamber. That should be the name of the year. COVID and echo chamber. 2 names for the years. But it's nice. If we didn't have COVID, you guys might not all have time to hang out in the middle of the night talking to me. You maybe would have to do things like get ready and go to work. How's it going out there? But maybe we're all old. Except Jonathan, he's a youngin'. This is the Old Crone Society. I guess we should rename it. Old Crone Society. We can all talk to each other about how far our faces have melted so far. Let's see, what did you say? Perpetual. Hi! How are you, Truth Seeker, today? I haven't seen you for a while. No, I don't. I'm perfectly fine. I just shoveled the snow. We had 20 inches. Imagine saying 20 inches. That's like living in the getting lake effect snow, living in the snow belt, as we called it, in southern Ontario. We lived just near Lake Huron. I lived near Listowel, Brussels address. I wonder what the road number was. I don't think we had a road number. We didn't have a house number. It was in Listowel, Ontario. I haven't built that house. In Minecraft, I didn't build that one. I built the house in Georgia that I grew up in. It's so cool to walk through the rooms and look out the windows and look at the furniture and wander around, and all the memories in my life are in those walls. And they're not exactly the same, but I tell you, it sure brings you back. Anyway, and I also built the house where my 3 young kids were born. And what else did I build? I built this house and I put the sign on it saying our names, and the address of the house is the 3 little numbers. Yes, I built the teepee. I built that yesterday, or I guess the day before, on Sunday. Probably shouldn't play Minecraft on Sundays, but usually my grandson's playing with me, and so I feel like it's good to do because I'm keeping him company. But I'm not really doing a very good job of keeping him company lately. But if I look at it from an objective point of view, I'm grandma, and grandma is not really, you don't really require grandma to be on the phone playing with the grandchild all the time, right? Not unless it's an agreement or something. But so I'm all right. But I do like playing with him. He's nice. But he's got some new games for Christmas, so. Puff the magic dragon. Dragons live forever, but not so little boys. Something, something, something. Make way for other toys. Oh, Puff the magic dragon. I'm Puff the magic dragon. My grandchild has got another game. He's not playing with me. He's got a new game. But he does call me to play his old game. Grandma, I'm going to play Minecraft now. Grandma, goodbye, Grandma. I love you. Puff the Magic Dragon. Maybe it is. I don't know. But Puff the Magic Dragon was sung by Peter, Paul, and Mary back in the days of the war. I guess it was a hippie song. Was it a hippie song or was it before that? Was it the Kingston Trio that sang it? I don't know who sang it. I could ask Google if she were in here, but no, she's not in here. Where is she when she's in the bathroom? And I'd have to have her yell it so I could hear it, and then poor Willem, he keeps normal hours. So he would wake up. But he wouldn't stay awake because he would just know it's Nancy doing what Nancy does. I am so blessed to have him. He's such an awesome guy. No. Silly boy. I've been like this my whole life. Like I painted the wall checkerboard. Like I've looked back on my life at some of the things I've done and I thought, my gosh, she is a character. You do this and then you end up with a spot like that. Yeah, I gotta be careful. It's from thinking, isn't it? Hey, you're supposed to tell me how I got that. Was I writing my lip while I was talking or while I was writing in the journal yesterday? Now wait, somebody came on here and I didn't have her written down, but she told me where she was. Truth Seeker, where are you? Mary Ray, that's right. She lives in Florida. Okay, so I've got to remember to write her down. Mary Ray, Florida. Simon in the Land of Chalk Drawings, TV sad song to Ellen. Yeah. Is that the one where the little boy in the little book, he goes along and he's painting, he's like a line, and he's drawing the house, and then he's going along and he draws a car, and then he goes along like he's going for a walk, and these are all the things that he has to walk over. It's a cute little book. Hey, how about Simon the Cat? Oh, Simon the Cat, he's funny. I don't usually go for cats, but I'm not allergic to him. He's okay. He doesn't eat my birds. While you were out shoveling snow, your face was cold and numb. It was. It was red. But it was nice. Missouri. So I have to write down Truth Seeker today, Missouri, and Mary Ray, Florida. Okay, so if you got each other or local, you can get to know each other. It's so cool to have friends. And sometimes as we change, our friends change. Our need for friends changes, or our not having needed friends, and we end up what did you say to me, Jonathan? You're not crazy cat lady, are you, Nancy? That's right. Yeah, do you find that? I find this medium of communication is really interesting. The internet, it gives you access to people like yourself, where you would never have that before. You would, in our mother's time, or when our younger days, if I wanted to hang out with weavers, I would go to the Weavers Guild and go to the meetings. So, but now you can, it is nice to be there in person, but now you can watch videos, or even live videos where somebody's doing that. Or in our case, we can be sitting around all doing what we think is the same thing. We're all sitting around drinking our tea or something, or we're mending, or we're watching videos. Everybody's watching videos. Hey, that's right. We're all watching videos together. Ah, well, we're not getting anything done, are we? Missouri. Truth Seeker today? Truth Seeker is Tammy. And no, Truth Seeker is Missouri, and Mary Ray is Florida. And let's see, Jonathan is New York, and Timmy is New York, Syracuse, and I shouldn't probably say the cities. And let's see, what's the next one? Ellen, Wisconsin. Who else is here? Too early to get to work. Missouri, that's it. True Secret today. Ah, you did have today there. Nice. I heard movement. Do you know that volcano that blew up in the ocean, it sent out a sound wave, and the sound wave went all the way around the earth, and it hit it at the other side. So some people heard the sound wave twice. And the sound wave, it was like the largest nuclear explosion or atomic explosion that's ever happened on the earth. That's how much the shockwave power it had. So I'm not sure exactly what happened to Fiji. To Tonga. Yeah, Tonga, Fiji, and Samoa. with that. I don't know the power of a sound wave, but you could see it from NASA. You could see it from the space station. This thing that's coming out from it, rippling out. It was pretty big. And it went and can't sound waves, can't they break trees and things? I know they can break your china. Oh yeah. Well, the whales were underwater. Oh my goodness. We are each so different, you know. We are each so different in the things that we think to say and the things that we think about. Everybody is so different. None of us are alike. Yeah, that's what I remember. I mean, my vast knowledge of sound waves comes from an episode of Lois and Clark. Not, not, what was it? Smallville. You remember Smallville? Smallville came after Lois and Clark. Lewis and Clark were the explorers. It's like, was it Thomas Jefferson? It's like, I've been shopping. I got myself. We made this great purchase from Louisiana. So I've, so we now have new property. So let's go explore it. And so he, and so he sent Lewis and Clark, and they went down a river. I don't know which river. Maybe the Mississippi. Was Louisiana Purchase? No, it must have been. That would have been the edge of it, right? So it must have been the rivers that are inland, and I don't know the American rivers so well. I know the Colorado River and the. Oh yeah, there's all these rivers that divide. Like there's the Missouri River and the Ohio River and the. I don't know what other rivers are there, but anyway, yeah, there you go. So, um, so they were hired to go and write down every bird and every animal and every plant and every waterway and every mushroom and whatever that was there. They were to just catalog the whole thing. And so they went downriver and they explored this place. It was like this new property. It was like, whoa, look what we bought. Where's the Salmon River? There's one in Canada. There's lots of them, I suppose. I don't know. I have to ask Google what rivers did Lois and Clark go on. But one of my press trips was to Kansas City, where we were taken to the spot where Lewis and Clark had landed and they had camped for 3 days. And I guess they paid people with whiskey. They had all these boxes of whiskey. And the people that were on, it was quite pretty big deal, I guess. They weren't just in a boat. Yeah, the Yukon River. I've heard about. Well, it would be pretty, wouldn't it? Those rivers are all runoff, glacial runoff, like they are in northern BC, and Yukon's north of that. Wouldn't it be neat to just spend a year there? To spend a year up in some place like Whitehorse, and or somewhere even more remote, like what's Dawson City? Like to spend a year in Dawson City, but I suppose it's all built up. It's not like you're not going to 1870. No, this is 2022. How is that possible? My brain never went past 2000, you know? I'll never, that's like a whole that's the world of the unknown is beyond the year 2000. I'll be really old then. So I never considered it. And when we went to the World's Fair, the 1967 World's Fair, the New York World's Fair, and I went to the New York World's Fair, And we went to the Montreal, the fair in Montreal. Yes, I am. Was that a question or a statement? We'll ask, but pretend it's a question because that would be the most polite way. So, yes, I am old. I am 66. I am old today because my skin is falling off. You see, you can always tell when you're old because your skin is falling off and your hair is falling out. And you've got all these little black things swimming around in front of your eyes, and your teeth are falling out, and your skin is getting thin, and you're starting to see your veins, and you've got all these black spots, and your hips stop working, and everything else stops working, and you're like this little tinker toy robot. Old enough to be your mom is not old, Sonny. No, that's not old. If somebody's old enough to be your mom, they are young. It's when you're old enough to be your great grandma. Do you remember getting snow as a child in Georgia? Well, yes. Oh my gosh. It would snow. You could count on it. One day every year it would snow outside. You would be sitting in school and you had something to do. You could watch it snow. You could sit there and you could ignore the teacher as usual and you could just watch it snow and think about things like turkey sandwiches on mayonnaise, white bread with white turkey and mayonnaise. I like that. Can you imagine? I like daydreamed about that. Blah. White bread. I know people used to just say bad things about white bread, but I always thought it tasted pretty good. I never really ate it. I made my own bread, so why would I make? Yes, snow days. Yes. But I was in Georgia, so you usually wouldn't get a snow day. It would be snowing. It was just snow. The sky would look a perfect certain way with these little circles on it, and this certain color of gray, and the way it would blend around those circles, and that was a snow sky. And you would look out at that snow sky, and sure enough, it would snow, and it was cold. You were cold. You had to put on mittens and a hat because there was something different about the air. It was freezing. But it had to be exactly 32 degrees. If it was colder or warmer, it wouldn't happen. If it was exactly 32 degrees, you could get snow and it would fall. And you could watch it fall and it would turn everything white. And then it would start to melt. And just as quickly as it had come, it would leave. Daydreaming. I think that your best thinking is done when you're daydreaming, don't you? Like sitting here looking at these walls and realizing how good little white hands would look all over these walls. Little handprints, white handprints. And we could make baby footprints. To make a baby footprint. Now look at the end of that hand. Now isn't that looking like the baby's foot? The not the foot, but the sole? That's the bottom of the baby's foot. And then you take your finger and you touch it. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you've got this baby footprint and you've got 5 little dots above it. So we could make those on the walls and then the children could put their real handprints. Wow, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get white paint and I'll have to bring in that huge piece of plastic which is keeping the 20 inches of snow off my couch, so that I can go back out there. Oh, and you remember it was frozen to the fleece? Well, I got it, pulled it apart. I'm a daydreamer too, Ellen. That's nice way of saying him a masturbator. What? Okay, Jonathan, you can't talk like that on here. If you're going to do that, we'll have to part ways. We are grown-ups here. Plus you. Sorry. There we go. Thanks. So what were we talking about? The snow. Yeah, it would snow. Now, there was a time when it snowed, like I lived on a hill, and so the road was quite steep, and our driveway was steeper, and then, our house was there, and the thing was, and then it went down to a river, so got very steep, and then a big wide Oconee River, the West Oconee River, I think it was. But we used to, I remember Becky across the road. Becky, she'll come on here, I hope. But you remember when we had that snow and you had a round saucer dish, one of those round sleds. And we went down those hills in the woods. I think we had a regular straight one. But I think we had heavy old wooden ones. We didn't have plastic that much back then. They hadn't come out with things like plastic sleds. That would be, I remember when they invented plastic, it was a big deal that they made fun. First you had wax paper for your sandwiches, and then you had these little wax paper sleeves. And then, so you put your sandwich in that instead of wrapping it up. But it would always get dry on the end. And so then it was like, whoa, they made a plastic sandwich bag so you could put your and then you could close this little part of it so you could pick it up from the opposite corner and it wouldn't fall out. Yeah, that was in Athens, Georgia, so northeast Georgia. So it was 60 miles from Atlanta. I think 60 is the word. Northeast of Atlanta. It was kind of a landlocked area. You were 6 hours from Savannah. That was the closest water. Oh dear. Astrophysics. Yes, you're going to go to the moon, Jack. Wow, astrophysics. Is that right? Astronomy? Or are you going to put the stars on the ceiling? Oh yeah, Athens turned out lots of musicians back in our day. There was the Allman Brothers were from Athens. Do you remember the Allman Brothers? Peaches was their album. So would you be an astronaut then? That's really cool. Being an astronaut, it's amazing that you could actually go to school in order to go to the moon. Like that's the thing. You could do that. The moon up there? Oh yeah, I want to go there. What do I do? Okay, here I go. What's this book? I'll read up on it. I'll read some more, read some more, read some more. Away we go. It's my turn now. Boy, that's a cool idea. Astrophysics. I suppose it's a lot of math. I think it's an easier way to be a travel writer. This is my goal, okay? I want to do these 5 things. I hope to go into research in the future. I'd love to be an astronaut. It's just a very process to be difficult. Wow, Jack, this is cool. You must be very smart. That is really cool. Oh, congratulations. As they say in Holland, ik ben trots op je. More than the moon up there, that's right. That's amazing. It's amazing what people can do. Well, that's right, a chimpanzee was. I remember being in school and the teacher wrote on the board what was the news of the day. It was grade 3, 1963. I lived in Teaneck, New Jersey. And The teacher wrote on the board John Glenn had orbited the moon. And I think she had a picture of the Earth and the moon. Probably just had a picture of the moon. I don't think she did the face thing with his big eyes. Hey, he's probably out tonight. Has it been a full moon? What's the day? Is it full moon? It's very bright outside. Well, it was bright outside. I know to sit forward and make this chair go up. Oh my gosh. No wonder I asked Willem to do everything when I sat in this chair. He can't move. Let's look out the window. Oh, there it is. Look at that. You want to see the full moon? It is totally a full moon. It's kind of quiet over there. Did you hear it? Did you see it? You need a lift chair, Nancy. Well, no, actually what I need is to not wreck my body. It was very good the day before today. Oh my gosh, it's really bad. Maybe I should go to bed. Oh, chimpanzees are very clever animals as well. You're right. You gotta be, like I was in Connecticut, and I was making a video at Mary's house. Oh, sorry. And there was there was boy, my body is really upset with me. Anyway, we'll ignore it and she'll stop yelling. Ignore it and it will go away. That's right. Willem has several ways to react to any situation. Usually they are suggestions that I make. Things like, why don't we put white hands all over the walls in this pink purple room? I think it's going to be perfect. I think Elida will like it, and I think Maya will like it, and I think the children will like it too. Oh my gosh, look at this. I am vertical. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess the Lord has blessed me not to have much snow this year. Look at this. We could work on this together, You guys do things like that with me. Like, I'm not used to everybody having so much conversation on it. It's like things have changed for us all. But look, we could do this together. I mean, that's the sort of things that you like watching, is me moving things from one place to another. Which is a cleaning video, obviously. I wonder if you could stick to this light. I wonder if this light would go there. Hey, it holds on a little bit. Not very well. Anyway. Oh, well. I'm sure that everyone goes through it. It's just hard to watch those children sit in a chair having no pain at all when you're in agony, and then you ask them to go get you something and they say, I don't want to do that. No. Hey, look at this pretty fabric. Let's turn it around here. Oh, that's pretty too. Isn't that beautiful? That's my dress. Look at this fabric I got. Do you think I like sparkly stuff? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I gotta get my sewing machine going. I could make the most awesome clothes. Look at all that. Why don't I do this? Isn't it beautiful? Wow. This set of fabrics cost me, get this, hold on to your chair, $10. That's it. $10. This is such beautiful fabric. Now, I don't know how they do things in India. I don't know how they wear this stuff. I wonder if they cut it or if they just wear it like this. You know, they do wrap themselves up in stuff. Let's open this up here. So I'm going to have to put you somewhere safe. Oh, you're standing up this time. Hey, maybe you could stand on the ladder. Almost. We're almost getting somewhere. Let's turn it around. Oh yeah, you can be on this. You've hung on this side of the fan before. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? Okay, so now we'll play dress up. That will get me moving. Alright, so look at this. So this is one piece. So what do? You wrap it around yourself? I'm going to need some paper clips, you know. It's hard to do that. Oh, this is the outside. I got it backwards. Oh, my arms don't bend that way. I should turn this off so it's not backlit. Okay, so maybe I would do it this way. Maybe I would tie it together. Tie it in a big knot, right? That will never work. So maybe what we have to do is I want to figure out how to put it together, how to Alright, how to tighten it enough that the top is going to stay on. But then the whole thing gets to be tight. I don't want the whole thing to be tight. It needs to be flowy. I know. I could just tuck it into my skirt. Perfect. Then I could gather it as I go. Boy, reaching my arms up there is kind of hard. Oh my gosh. This is sort of the very a very rough idea of how you could do this. How I could do this. Okay, so there's enough here for a skirt for sure. And this part, I think it would go, it would need straps or shoulders, or, you know, it would need the top. Or, you know, so you could and then this one would be for the one would be for your cape, which you would wear like this. Or something. I don't know. I have to watch YouTube and find out how to tie them. Maybe you can do it without cutting it or anything. Like, you see them in these saris and they're all dolled up. Isn't this beautiful? Can you believe this is $10? It's at that same place I got my skirts. My skirts were also $10. But see, I have enough fabric here that I could make a skirt and I could make a little dress for my granddaughter. Wouldn't that be fun? Who wants to look like a 66-year-old woman when you're 6 years old? 5 years old. The grandchildren are having birthdays and the ages are all changing. I have all these videos of when they were little. My phone is full of videos of little children. So, there we have it. I will have to look on YouTube and see if there's a proper way to do that. And if there is, perhaps I can figure it out. Isn't it pretty? I like pretty things. I could put padding in it, and I could use it, and I could make a blanket out of it. And I could wear this beautiful blanket all the time. Or I could just wear it for a shawl. This is one of those, I'm going outside now, and I want to stay warm. Goodbye, everyone. I think I should put some of these things up there. But I think that maybe I don't have a clue about how much I hurt. But I know that if I start moving, it will help it. Some interesting things up there, you know? Oh well, it is good to move around a little bit. We should probably look at this. We should probably look at the moon again. Let me see, someone is here. Oh, Jeannie! Hi, Jeannie! Isn't that a pretty thing, eh? So someone left? Okay, we got, yes, this is from the same place as the skirts. Guess I better, hey, you know what I better do? I'm going to put some water on and make some tea. I like making tea. Yes, up here I have hot water. I get it out of the hose, which is in the big room. Shall we look in the big room? Let's look outside and see if we can see the moon from here. No, it's pretty dark. I think we have to go back in that other room. So what have you been saying? What have I missed? Oh, there's been a lot of people talking. Okay, so a chimpanzee was an astronaut. Thank you, Thomas. I'm not calling you chimpanzee only because Nancy might mute me. Yeah, that's right, Nancy might be. You gotta. I was in Mary's in Connecticut, and I was doing a video, and there was these kids on the porch, teenagers, and one of them pulled out a cigarette and was about to smoke. I said, "You can't do that on Nancy today. You can't smoke cigarettes on here." He was like, "Oh." I don't miss Georgia, no. Georgia had no soil. It was just the red clay, and so it was very hard to to work the earth. You had to be continually bringing in things, and you started with such it's like chipping rock, and so you had to really buy all of your earth, and so that to me was a big thing. Plus, it was really hot, and the pine trees were hot. The pine trees would give some shade, but it was a hot shade. Oh, I remember the feeling of the. Hello, hello. Okay, we'll have some of this. Okay. We'll come back into our chair. And I'll put this light on again. Those are pretty fabrics, aren't they? Let's turn around and see what everybody said. I'm just going through this. Oh, yes. Honeymooners. Remember that, eh? I think it'd be cool to be in research. My dad was in research. My sister was in research. Everyone was in research. Okay, I'm going through this. Chimpanzees. You saw a werewolf. Take cover. Love the full moon on fresh snow. One of my favorite things. Yes. Will my walker help? Yes, actually, I can go downstairs and get it. It's not going to be up here then, but yeah, I'm not getting much better. This chair makes me feel better, but it doesn't help my body heal. I get up much stiffer. So this fabric is from RAJA is the name of the store, and I guess there must be flaws in it or something, but they were selling all this fabric. It was $10 a thing, and I bought about a lot of them. Too many, of course, naturally, but I thought I could make beautiful skirts for years to come. And yes, that's where I got my skirts. The skirts were in the bin for $10 each because I guess they're just very cheaply made. And I think I'm washing them too much because they're getting very light. Or maybe Willem's adding bleach. Or whatever, but they're getting worn. I don't usually wear my clothes out, but I wear these skirts out. So it goes over the shoulder. Yeah, I'll have to wear a blouse under it. Goodbye, Truth Seeker. I guess she's gone already. Where does she say she is? Missouri. It's today, yes. Loosening up my muscles. What's up, Jeannie? I'm watching Nancy and making coffee. Starbucks brand you purchased at Sam's. My husband likes to grind the beans. I have to keep tight reins on you. Oh dear. So I have my drink now. And now I'm caught up and I know what's happening. So now what do you want to talk about? Since obviously we have to have something to talk about or we'll get boring. It's 6:30. It's too early to get up. The sun is not up yet. I wonder if the moon has set. Let's look out here. Nope. You want to see the moon? Could you see it? can't see anything out there, can you? This camera doesn't really do a good job of it, but it sure smells good. And look, there's even some snow has come right here. Look at that. Guess what? Tastes like snow and fingers. Actually, it doesn't taste that good. Oh well. It's nice and cold though. I like it. So, Jeannie, what do we know about you? You make crafts? What you were talking about? Oh, creative interests. Sorry, I have to get rid of that comment there. Who were you talking to when you said, tell me about your creative interests? I can't just assume it's me because we're a community. I have to remember to just back off, wait your turn, and pay attention to what's going on. You can't just be off in another zone. There's an actual conversation going on here. This is like real life. Uh-oh, not that again. I hear a car. Oh, hi, Jeannie. Okay, let me see what you just said. All right. Sue Baker in Maryland, right? It's cold and you can't sleep. Well, this is the perfect place for you because none of us can sleep either. That's exactly right. If we could sleep, would we be here? No, we'd be sleeping like any normal person. So I'm glad that you're here. Oh, creative projects that I have going. Well, what do you think about putting handprints on this wall? White handprints. You notice the white trim and the purple wall. And wouldn't that be pretty as little child's handprints all over the walls? They could even draw shapes on the walls and then put their handprints and make pictures with handprints. Like they could just paint on the walls, but it had to be all being done with handprints that were just tapping handprints. And if they did that, then it would be perfect. Thank you. I need to do my birch bark things. I talked about it a bit yesterday. Oh, you have a big day today. What's happening in Wisconsin? I guess winter is not just shut everybody down, does it? I should go get my snowblower today so I don't have to do the stuff. But I might not feel good enough, so we might not do it today. I haven't made appointments for the next time we go to the temple, so I have to do that too, or I'm not going to have an appointment and the time will go by and I'll have to wait longer. You're off to the library. It was nice stopping by. I hope everyone has a good day, whatever it entails. Goodbye. Jack, it's really nice to have you here. You're really you're very uplifting, smart, light person. Thank you for always showing up. It's nice. Goodbye. Have fun at school. The library is a good place. We used to go to the library. I loved research in the library. I was telling you about it the other day, about those indexes of periodicals. And you could find out anything on a subject, back in the day when that whatever had been written on in a newspaper, you could find out about it. I enjoyed that stuff. So, other creative things we're doing. Well, we're trying to decide if shoveling the driveway, which made every part of my body stiff, and maybe these things I ate, which I think made me kind of swollen because I can't close my hands as much as I should. I wondered, has that tightened up my skin on my face as well? It tightened up the rest of my body. Just want to see if how much my skin will droop to how it will fall today. Oh, packing day. Oh, yes, this is a busy day. Cool. It's like a co-op, right? Like everybody pools together and buys stuff in bulk, and then you divide it up between yourselves and pack it away, and everybody takes their portion. We used to do that. There's a place in Ontario called Grain Process Enterprises, and you could buy feed bag full sizes of whatever, the general store stuff would have sold. Miss Reed Thrush Green series. Isn't that interesting? So what was it about? R-E-E-D or R-E-A-D? Is the reed, is that part of the name of the kind of thrush? Wow. Sounds interesting. So I have to, what other creative stuff is going on here? Well, I want to do these birch bark baskets. The projects that I don't really feel like doing but are waiting for me to do, there's like a whole stack of books I want to look through, which I don't want to look through, but I took them out to look through them, and I wanted to have looked through them, so I need to look through them, but I don't want to do it. I need to finish putting that patch on my skirt, which is a pocket, and I need to I have all this birch bark down there. I was going to make containers, like canisters you'd put on the kitchen counter. And so it's the last one in the book. It's the last of all the projects, and I haven't done that one yet, and I really would like to do that. I would like to learn how to do it. They use something that makes like an arrow shape. They have a slit and an arrow shape, but I'm not sure about the slit, and I'm not sure how it holds it watertight without, like, he didn't use stuff like pine pitch to make sure it was watertight. It was just the way he had made it. So I think what you do is you start out with a cylinder. So there was a piece of birch bark that had come off of a branch. So it was a perfect cylinder. So I have that. Of course, you have to clean up the inside and the outside, and maybe oil it. And then you do the second. There's another one that wraps around it. And then it's got this arrow-shaped connection, which I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. And I think that the logistics of cutting that shape, the arrow shape to fit the slit, and making them in the right places. This is a good book. I'm sure it's going to. It's got pictures. It's got 9 pictures on every page, or something like that, or maybe 6, and so you can follow each picture. I think it's 9. It's perfect. It's an amazing book. So I think I'll be able to do it without it leaking, because the book would be showing that. Oh, hi, Daphne. I'm trying to remember what is the place that Daphne Bumpus. Was that Alabama? Alabama or Tennessee? Or was it somewhere else altogether? Hmm. The way you write, Wutyr, I find that, I guess it's a generational thing. I'm used to reading words spelled the way I'm used to recognizing them. And so when they're spelled with this abbreviated spelling, it's it's not just an abbreviation, it becomes an accent in my head. I don't know how, you know how people, a lot of them just use like TTYL and LOL and BRB, all these different ones that we've gotten used to using. But the when people exchange words for like an RU for RU, and it's always it's like a code, and like you have to decipher the code. I guess if I always was writing in those words, those would be my recognizable words, right? So I would be familiar with them and they would evoke exactly what they were supposed to evoke. But they're not, it doesn't work. It's not working like that. Oh, shorthand. Wasn't shorthand awesome? So it's a British series written in the 1940s and 50s, takes place in a made up village. Very sweet and gentle stories. People drink a lot of tea and all the neighbors know each other. Oh, how nice. Oh, what a nice thing. It's like watching a television series, isn't it? Only it's a book, which is much better than television. On television, because they act it all out in real time, if it's like reading a book for a half an hour. Oh, the snake language. Isn't that interesting? Ah, yes. Yes, I'm only old when young people are around. It's interesting, isn't it? When I'm around older people, I'm young. But in my head, when I'm alone, I'm always young. I'm always me. It's only other people that react to you, and then you think perhaps they're correct, you know, or you look in the I lost it. What were we talking about? Yeah, like a TV series. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you have to be kind to people, okay, Jonathan? You can't be mean. You can't be making fun of people. So otherwise, we won't let you play with us anymore. So you better be good, or I'll tell Santa. What other creative things are supposed to be going on here? Oh, yes, I have my loom. I took off the cedar bark skirt, and so that I have to tie all the ends for, and then I have to wash it so that it will become really soft. And then, so it'll become really soft, and then I have to see what I need to do with it, how I'm going to make it into a piece of clothing, whether it's going to be a jacket or a skirt. I have to figure that out. And then there's another thing to do. I have to um, my loom. I have the weaving on my loom. And so I have taken off my, oh yes, my father's ties. So I made this piece of fabric which is all my dad's ties. So it's quite thick and I don't really know what to call it. I don't really think it's a rug, although you can put it on the floor and stand on it, but I wouldn't keep it on the floor all the time. And you could put it on the kitchen table and it looks nice on the table. So I'm not really sure what its purpose is at the moment. But it's it's a novelty. It's my dad's ties. But the threads, the warp got all bunched up. The threads are all together like my fingers. But then there's some that are single that are just going where they're supposed to go. I think it did stop snowing. Yes. Yes, a table mat. The table mat, right. Now, I was thinking of a runner, but it's not a runner, a table mat. It's a good one. I like it. It's really pretty, and it's silk. And yet it's not... My mother my mother had all these silk blouses. And I don't really like the feel of them. They're kind of like squeaky clean. There's something about them that doesn't... It's not as soft. Oh, you like it there. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that I have to decide if I'm going to push all the threads together, I have to push them together all the way up, or if I'm going to separate them, I have to separate. Whatever I'm going to do, I have to do the whole thing. So that's another project that's in the works. And then, yeah, that's interesting about it being called snake language. It's a very different kind of language. It's almost like getting back to phonetics and just having the sounds. And if you continue that for a long period of time, you will eventually lose the use of, like if you do the WUT, you'll eventually lose the knowledge of WHAT. Really? It used to be called WHAT? You know, as the young people, if the young people are all using it, then as they grow up, they're teaching it to their children and their grandparents, and so the old language is gone, and that's how language changes, right? What's that the study of? Linguistics. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. How do you mean? What they do in the Harry Potter movie? Um, so this is, I seem to be in a role where I'm cleaning the house. I guess it has to do with you guys because I'm making the videos because you guys like watching them, and so, and I find that I'm using it more. I need somebody to talk to, and so you're it. Thank you. And it's nice because you can either listen or not. And my kids can one day maybe hear this conversation. I mean, I can't imagine my children really wanting to hear my conversations, but you never know. So what other projects? Oh yes, we'll see. So now I took the tie affair off of the loom, and then I was ready to just tie it to the front beam, but now I have to rethread it. So you don't know how to tell the difference in what? Um, really, eh? Banana peels. That's interesting. Rayon and silk. Yes, I've always wanted to wash ties, but you never can. I guess you could, but I don't know how. They're cut on the bias, so if you pull any part of it, it pulls it doesn't go up the tie, and then you get it out of shape. See, I've learned over the many years that I've done that. I've had that happen, so I know that will happen. My mother used to know things. She knew a lot of things because she'd had experiences in her life. Oh, Jonathan, I think you're going to have to be nice to people. You can't, people are not understanding your sense of humor, so you have to just pretend that you're all grown up and you're in a very nice, having a visit with all these very nice older people, grandmothers and grandfathers. So I guess this full moon, I can't go out and see it with you because you can't see it. And of course, my computer, my phone will turn off as soon as I am. As soon as I'm outside. There's this part of the room up there that's not finished. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? What do? Do you finish it? I think it would be too dark to finish it. I like the yellow. Maybe it should be white. Maybe the same trim that's used here should be used on the ceiling. Have a really beautiful ceiling. All right. I like finding my mom's old handwriting. She lost the ability to write, and that was sad. Yes, I have lots of my mother's letters, too. I have them, she wrote to me, and I could, oh, I've got to plug you up again. I didn't keep them forever. I did keep them actually forever, but I just kept them. I didn't put them anywhere special. Oh, I guess they're up in a box here. But there would be so many of them because she would write to me several times a week, or maybe at least once a week. I hope that plugged you up properly. So let's see if this tea is ready. It's very trusting to drink a cup of tea out of a cup that you've mended. Ah. Oh, that's good. I can smell the cinnamon in it. So what were we saying? Yes. Yes, as you get older, all these things that happen to our bodies. And young people, they think, oh, look at you, you're so old. And yet, it's going to happen to them. I'm now the age, I was saying to my cousin yesterday, I was saying, I'm now the age of my aunt, our aunt. She was our great aunt. She was very old. She was as old as the hills. And she would tell me how to behave. And she was all right. It would be nice if she had liked me. Who knows? Maybe she did like me. Maybe I've always misjudged the situation. But I don't think she did. I was a disobedient little kid. Little twat. Anyway. But now, I am her age. How am I different from her? What do I do differently? I hope I do many things differently. It's very interesting to look back and think of your father years ago and think about the age that he was. You know, like once you're getting to be a senior, you're older than your dad was the whole time he raised you. And so now you can look back on it and you can see what kind of people they were and what kind of situations they were dealing with. It's a different perspective. You gain understanding for what your parents were going through. I guess we've always said that, right? I'm sorry, I've got to fix my hair. Yeah, my father, just when you're young, your parents know everything. And your parents are like, they are the product of that environment of perfect manners and politeness and respect and integrity, you know, and always being polite to people and never being disrespectful, never saying anything that might make somebody feel bad. Like he didn't want me to say Happy Mother's Day to random women because they might not be mothers and you might hurt their feelings. They might bring up bad feelings. You mustn't do that. You know, I didn't believe that he was correct. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But anyway, I didn't listen. Because I'm me and he's him. But you know, like you thought that your parents knew all the rules. They really were accurate about what all the rules were, what was important in life, what you should be doing, what not doing. And so you kind of go on with them for a while. And then when you get a teenager, you look back and you say, no, you're not on the right track at all. I know much more than you. And away you go. You start your own little life. And then when you're older than they were when you ran away from them, and you look back at them and you think of how they were coping in the situation that they were all in. Yeah. Yeah. And every generation, it's a whole different way of child rearing. Our children were reared differently than our grandchildren. And I mean, there's this program, No Child Left Behind or something, where they'll just never fail children and they'll keep passing them. Can't do that in Canada. They don't just pass you through. And so my father, he grew up with a father that would work in the fields while he was a teenager. And I have this picture of him sitting on the fence with my grandmother, and they were eating apples. And then there's another picture of them, a whole group of them sitting on the fence. So I imagine it was break time at Langdon House or Langdon Manor or whatever it was called in Cambridge. And I got to go there one day. And so that's who this guy was. And he became a doctor, a very fancy doctor in New York City, and a wealthy man with a home in the country, a country home, beautiful, huge mansion, country home. And that was Tall Trees. It was on an estate, which used to be a farm, and there was the old wooden barn, and there was the chicken barn, and all these buildings that were not set up for any kinds of animals had once held many kinds of animals. You know, there's the old farm was a hobby farm kind of, where they had, not really a hobby farm at all, but it was like today's hobby farm, where they had a few chickens and a few goats and a few cows and a couple horses, you know, so they had all these different kinds of animals, ducks and chickens and sheep. And they all had their uses, right? And that was, the generations were all growing up like that on farms. And then my grandfather went to university, became a doctor, and did well, and went down there and And then my dad grew up, instead of growing up amongst 11 children, this is the way I do it, Jonathan. I just talk about what I want. Am I boring everyone? Are they leaving? I guess I sing when I feel like it. It's interesting. I've never had live input. You know, like I get some comments in there telling me that this was a really bad video and it was bumping all over the place or something like that. Or, you know, you never did get around to telling us how to do such and such or whatever. You know, you just get comments. And but you don't have to really, they're not in real time. So you really don't have to deal with it while you're making a video. Hey, I think it's first light. I think it's getting light out. Look at that. What time is it now? Let me see. It is 7:05. Wow, this is good. It's interesting you can see out there. I wonder if you can see out here too. Oh look, there's the moon. It's trying to focus, isn't it? But there's some branches that are in front of it. And here we have the food for the birds. Did they eat it all? Oh wait, is that looking inside? That's a reflection there. No, that's a feeder. It's just empty. How about the ground? Look at the ground. We have snow. Look at all that snow. Da da dum dum da da dum dum da da dum da da dum da da dum dum da da dum dum da da dum dum da da dum dum da 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 dum da da dum. Well, it's getting pretty nice out there, don't you think? I guess I want to go out there and get some fresh air at my nose. Yeah, I guess I should go out there. Is it full tonight or is it just about full? It was cold. I didn't want to go out. Actually, I was in a lot of pain. So, is it cloudy there, Ellen? Well, I think I'm going to go. I think that's what's going to happen now. I think I'm going to go outside. So it was nice talking to you all. Good night. Yes, it might loosen up my back muscles and be good for me. Okay, and thanks for being here. I love you guys. Goodbye, Grateful. Goodbye, Ellen. Who else is here? Not much people. Jeannie. Ah, yes, Jeannie. Okay, goodbye. I have to write down where somebody was from. Now, who is that? Mary Ray in Florida, right? And then somewhere else. And Truth Seeker is in Missouri. Okay. All right, ta-ta, bye. You can do this at home. Results